Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Gananaham Tva Patigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamastravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anasrinvan Utibhisse Dasadanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vaje Bhirvajinivati Dhinama Vitrayavatu Ganesaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sumukascha Ekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Bodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketur Ganadhyakshaha Palachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Herambaha Skandapurvajaha Sambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Yasyadvirada Vaktradhyaha Parishadhyaha Parasatam Vignam Nigdhanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamasraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Valmikir Munisimhasya Kavita Vanacharinaha Srinvan Ramakata Nadam Ko Nayati Param Gatim Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Om Namayiti Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Kritamastakāñjalim Bāshpavari Paripurna Lochanam Marutim Namata Rakshasantakam. So, when Viswamitra told Dasaratha, Maharaja, I need only two things, two of your sons, Rama and Lakshmana, to accompany me. What do you say to this? Immediately, Dasaratha lost his balance. Now, before I continue with this, yesterday there was a question that one of you asked, how come Rama behaved all of a sudden so strangely and, so to speak, sulking and not talking to everybody else and all that. And so there's kind of a strange behavior. Why did he do that? Now, it's very important to remind ourselves, and probably repeatedly so, because we have been trained in the wrong way, and we need to detrain ourselves and then train ourselves the right way. And what is it? When we hear Bhagavan's story, Ramayana, or when we read it, or when we think about it, we should be vigilant and not to treat it as a story of a human being. It's very, very important, because when you look at Rama's behavior and all that, then it looks very strange, because we think he's a man, he's a young boy of 11 or 12 years old, and why is he behaving like that? No, because Avataram himself, when Avataram comes, it says, just because I move among you like one of you, I talk like you, I walk like you, I sleep like you, I smile like you, I move with you, and don't make the mistake that I am also one of you, and you must be ever vigilant, because at any moment I may reveal my divinity. So we have to be vigilant in order to receive the divinity that the Avataram reveals, even though it's in a human form. Otherwise we will miss it. And what happened when Rama behaved like that, we cannot estimate that and measure him and judge him on the basis of we behave. Oh, what is he? Why is he doing that? Oh, okay, he's teaching me about the relative unimportance of the body, the body's role, and what is really important, what is his teaching. That is what we should focus on. Okay? So let me move on. Now, so Dasaratha, when he heard Viswamitra make this request, he was shocked, absolutely shocked, and he was speechless. He didn't know what to do. And here is Viswamitra observing him very keenly. Then after a while, he regained his composure and gathered himself up, so to speak, and then gasping a little bit, he kind of made bold, became a little bit courageous to say a few words. He said, "Master, what use will these boys be for you? They are only very young. And the mission that you want to take the boys to fulfill of guarding your yajna and fighting against the Rakshasas and all that, I can do that, don't you think so? And I'm better qualified to do that. Please give me the chance to do that. And by serving you and fulfilling this duty, I'll make my life worthwhile also. And then you just tell me what it is, and I'll be very happy to do that for you." And then the sage replied, "King, it is my firm belief, I'm absolutely certain, it's only these two boys can fulfill that mission. Nobody else can. They alone can do it. Neither you nor your millions of soldiers and all that, they cannot. You're not up to the task. And these boys like Rama and Lakshmana have never been born before, and they may not even be born again. This is my absolute conviction. Listen, Maharaja, I took a vow. I resolved that I will carry out this yajna. But then, as soon as I started the yajna, did the preliminaries and all that, the demons assembled and started creating trouble. And they started obstructing it and interrupted it and made this very difficult. And I want these boys to come there and ward these demons off, make sure protect the yajna from the attack by the demons. That's all I want them to do. And once that is successfully concluded, then my vow will be fulfilled. This is all the reason I've come here, Maharaja. This is my desire. This is the reason. This is the purpose with which I've come. What do you say?" Viswamitra asked him again. This time when he asked, he didn't say, "What did you say? What do you say?" He said, "What do you say?" In a very authoritative, firm voice he asked him. And then the king replied, "Swami, these are tender little boys, hardly 12 years old. How can they perform such a huge, humongous task? I'm here, most willing to come, and I'm ready and to come and do this for you. I will bring all my army, my chariotry, my armory, my cavalry, elephantry, everything. Along with that, I'll come there and I'll make sure that your yajna is concluded successfully without any more hindrance. You know that I fought with the Devas and I won. I can do this very easily, and I will make arrangements right now and leave. Please permit me to do so." He appealed. He was not answering Viswamitra's question. And then Viswamitra said, "Maharaja, I'm not at all satisfied with all that I hear from you. I assert once again, I'm telling you once again firmly, you cannot accomplish this mission. It's beyond your ability. And don't you realize even a person like me, who is so well accomplished, even it is beyond my ability to do that. Otherwise, why would I come and seek your help? So how can you take it up and succeed? No. You think these boys are just ordinary children. No, they're not. It's a mistake. The result, because you think they are your boys. No, they are divinity taken in a human form. And do not hesitate. And Maharaja, keep your word that you have so solemnly and voluntarily and enthusiastically and readily gave when I came, and send the boys with me this very moment, this minute, or accept that you are not true to your word. Then I will leave. No problem. Do either of these. Either send the boys with me and fulfill your word, or accept that you cannot fulfill your word. That's all. Don't delay. And when the sage spoke very sharply, no more niceties. The words were coming like hitting so precisely and firmly and powerfully the sage was speaking, and the king was trembling. He didn't know what to do. What choice can I make? He was becoming afraid. And so the only thing he could think of was to request that his guru, his preceptor, his guru Acharya Vasishhta should come and help him solve this problem. So Vasishhta came there. And then as soon as he saw Viswamitra, both of them exchanged pleasantries, and they were all friends, and smiles and mutual respect they gave to each other. Then Vasishhta, they heard from the king all that thing that had happened. And then Vasishhta, of course, knew quite well the boys are really avataram. They are Bhagavan himself has taken the human form, right? So he knows that. So though he wanted to advise the king not to have the least worry, because the king was afraid of the safety and security of his children, of his boys. He didn't want to lose them. So Vasishhta advised him, consoled him, encouraged him, and comforted him. He said, don't worry, put your boys in the trust of Viswamitra. He will take very loving care of them. Then Dasaratha was not satisfied. He kept on pleading that, masters, my boys have not been keeping good health for the past number of months. They have not been eating well. They have not been sleeping well. They have lost weight and all these things. And they may not even have the physical stamina to go and fight with the demons. And not only that, we were being concerned about their health and this, and there was no improvement on their health. Now all of a sudden, this challenge comes. The boys have not been trained. They have not even seen a battle. They've just been undergone so-called classroom training. They have not gone and fought a battle and all that. How can they take on this momentous task? And how can I send the boys with you? And I have to protect them, even if it's going to cost me my life, he was saying. Then Viswamitra intervened, stopped him right in mid-sentence. He said, King, why do you foolishly blabber like this? You should have thought about this before you made your promise. You make promise and then you're not able to fulfill. And this is such a lovely act from a ruler like you, making a promise without considering the pros and cons and then backing off. This is it's very, very wrong. You cannot even back off. You cannot delay. You cannot retract what you said. You cannot go opposite of what you promised. These are all important dharmas. And it's so unworthy of people like you that you are behaving like this. I reject your offer, King, he says. Very sorrowfully, I reject it. The offer that King made was that he himself will come. And when somebody helps you, if the help is even small, very tiny, but if it comes from the heart, from the deepest urges, when the heart urges you out of love, go and help someone, that is as good as life itself, even if it's a small help. But half-hearted help and hesitating to help, however great, is despicable, deplorable, he said. And King, I have no desire to cause pain and extract help from you. I'm not interested in that. Well, be happy with yourself and with your sons. I'm leaving. Viswamitra got up and attempted to leave. And the king immediately fell at his feet. He said, Swami, please, give me more light. Shed more light. I know I'm suffering. I know I'm not saying the truth. Help me. Give me a little bit more time. And tell me what my duty is, Swami. So he pleaded with him, with Viswamitra and Vasishhta, to convince him of the dharma, of the fairness of what Viswamitra is doing. How he should fulfill that thing. And then at that time, Vasishhta called Dasaratha to him. He said, King, you are coming in the way of an imminent cosmic revelation. When the avataram comes, it also reveals itself at different times that it is divinity itself has come. And like the way when Krishna lifted the Govardhana hill, as an example, I'm giving so many examples that we can talk about. And like that, there are things that happen, or when Draupadi was protected by king, right, by Krishna. All these things are revelation, a cosmic revelation of divinity that has taken a human form, and that it shows I'm just not human. I'm in this form, but I'm actually the divinity itself. That revelation is just going to happen, Maharaja. Divine cosmic revelation could take place, and you are standing in the way. And it's going to be a fulfillment, one of the important fulfillments of why this avataram has come. But here you are attached to thinking that these children they belong to you because they happen to be your boys. I promise you, your sons will come to no harm, absolutely no harm. Because why? Nobody, as Bhagavan Srimad Narayana tells Devaki before he goes as an orb of life into her womb and takes birth as Krishna in that prison cell, she says, no one in the 14 worlds, the past or the present or in the future, nobody has been born, to be born, or was born who can overpower divinity, cause the least harm to the divinity. So they will come to no harm, absolutely. And, in the whole world, there is nobody who can be more heroic or stronger, mightier than them. It's impossible. And then he says, the divinity itself has taken form as your son. So without further delay, send for the boys, he says. And you now should not be calculating their physical strength and mental strength and all these, and whether they are intelligent or even young or old. These are all irrelevant. They are all the powers reside in them. So you must be looking at it, calculating the divine that is bubbling up within them. Don't you remember the halo, the glow of brightness around the face? Don't you remember Rama's teaching that night? So he's reminding them that this is divinity itself. They will come to no harm. Don't stand in their way. Don't stand in the way of their mission. Why? They have taken birth. And so, when Vasishhta spoke to him along these lines, Dasaratha felt a little bit better. Then Vasishhta sent for the princes, Rama and Lakshmana. As soon as Rama and Lakshmana heard that the Guru is calling them, they rushed to their presence. Unlike last time, they immediately rushed. And they came in so happy and bubbling and enthusiastic and all that. They fell at the feet of their father, got his blessing, fell at the feet of Vasishhta, got his blessing, and at the feet of Viswamitra. And then, so when they did, such a beautiful thing that we can emulate in our life, falling at the feet of elders, taking their blessing, falling at the feet of our mother, of our fathers, the very, very important things. And then when they fell at the feet of Vasishhta and Viswamitra and took his blessing, now Viswamitra had a nice smile on his face. And then he asked the boys as they rose, and then they stood in front of him very reverentially with their palms folded and all that. He said, boys, will you come with me? And both the boys were elated at the proposal. On hearing this, of course, still Dasaratha was a bit disheartened. He became a bit pale. Then Rama saw that father was suffering. So he approached him and talked to him very softly. He said, Appa, why are you sad when I'm going with this great sage? Why are you sad? Is there any better way of utilizing this body that I have than putting it at the service of others? Is the question he's asking. That's the most important question, teaching from the whole of Ramayana that we can imbibe. Because Vyasa Bhagavan, after completing all the 18 Puranas, he summarized it. And he says, very simply, help ever, hurt never. That is the basic summary of the 18 Puranas. But he says, Paropakaram idam shariram. This body is given to you to serve others. That's the main thing that Rama is pointing out here. See, exactly. The body has been given to us for that very purpose. And, to go and support and serve the sages and saints in the holy activity that they have undertaken, and to protect them from coming into harassment and trouble and all that. What more job can we have as rulers? That is our most important job. And there is nothing that is impossible for us, Father. Don't worry about it. We will destroy the Rakshasas, however fierce they may be. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. And then, if you permit us, we are ready to leave this very minute. And then Rama spoke like this. When Bhagavan speaks to you, when Avataram speaks to you, doesn't matter even if you are in a depth of sadness and sorrow and absolute hopeless situation you think it is, when Avataram speaks to you, even one word, or looks at you, smiles at you, it lifts you up like you wouldn't believe. It gives you encouragement. It puts things in the right perspective. So King became a little bit better, even though he was still struggling. And he said, hugged Rama, embraced him, and he said, Rama, these Rakshasas are not ordinary enemies. I know they are. I've heard reports of people like Sunda, Upasunda, Maricha, Subahu. They are viciously cruel, atrociously cruel. You wouldn't believe. Even their physical appearance is so frightening. It's horrible to be looked at. And you have had no occasion, Rama, to see these kind of demons in such terrifying forms. And I'm not able to imagine. I don't want to think of the moment when you come face to face with them. How can you battle with these tricksters who employ all kinds of stratagems and camouflage and everything else, and they change their bodies and physical appearances and all that? Rama, you've not even actually seen, you've not even heard the word even the word battle yet. You've just been being trained, and you have not seen any actual combat at all. All of a sudden, you've got to go and face this humongous battle. Please, destiny, sometimes can be very cruel. Is this the reason I got my sons in order to put them in the threshold of death? And so, when Dasaratha was talking like this, Lakshmana came. He saw that moment, it was a moment of weakness for his father. He saw that. He said, Father, why these tears? We are not timid girls. The battlefield is our legitimate arena. That is where we as Kshatriyas, we belong. It's our rightful duty. And safeguarding of the holy people, the sacred people, the righteous people, people who follow Dharma, that is our primary duty. And when we serve the saints and the sages and the rishis and all that, what happened? That maintains the moral code for the sustaining the whole society. I'm really surprised, Appa, that you are so sad that when we are going on such a glorious errand, glorious service that we are going for, the world will laugh at you, Father, at your weakness. Send us with your love and blessings. I too will accompany Rama and return with the glory of victory. And then Rama also then came to his father again. He saw that Dasaratha was completely overpowered with affection towards him. And then he said, Appa, it appears you've forgotten who you are. Bring to your memory, think, recollect. I will remind you. In which royal family have you been born? Think about it. Think about our forefathers, our grandfathers, and all the people before them. Before you were born, Appa, how much fame they attained? How did they attain it? Were they not brave? Were they not prepared to give their own life? Were they weeping like you? No. So you should not weep now. This is not right. You have taken birth in the Ikshvaku clan and live up to that responsibility. And till this moment, to this day, my dear father, you have been living as an embodiment of Dharma. Even everybody, all the three worlds, they acclaimed you for what you are, what a dharmic ruler that you are. and not only such a strong, mighty warrior, such a loving, compassionate ruler. That's the reputation you have. And now you know there is no worse sin than going back on the word that you have given. Because word is your vow. That is dharma, that is satyam. You have to protect it. You cannot go back on it. And then, suppose you go back on your word, what ill fame that you have, infamy that will descend on you, and we, as your sons, will have to live with that infamy and ill fame that you will have. We have to share with, we have to live with that. Now, when you cannot act according to your word, how can you expect others to do so? So it is not possible. And I tell you what, no point even elaborating this further. Simply speaking, we as your sons feels that it is a mark of disgrace for which we have to bend our heads even to listen to the talk that Dasaratha broke his word. And this will be a blot on the dynasty itself, not only on our family, but on the whole lineage of Ikshvaku clan. It will be a complete blot on it. You are blinded by your affection to your son. That is not based upon discrimination. It is not vivekam. It will only bring us punishment, not protection, he says. If you're really moved by your affection towards us, you should pay attention to promoting our fame, should you not? If you really, really love us, you should make sure that our fame gets increased also. So, this is the opportunity. I am not in a position to advise you. You know all this, Father, but your affection towards us has blinded you. Okay? It is making it difficult for you to see what your duty really is. So far as we are concerned, Rama and Lakshmana, me and Lakshmana are concerned, we have not even the slightest amount of fear. The victory will definitely descend on us. Guarantee you. Do not hesitate. Bless us and entrust us to the sage. And then Rama, when he pleaded thus, he touched his feet of his father and bowed his head. Dasaratha drew him close and hugged him again. Kanna, all you said is true. These are gems of truth. I am not a fool to deny them. I will proceed right this minute with my own army and protect the sacrificial ceremony of the sages. I will take care of it. But I am not able to accept the proposal to send you, who is just being trained in the arts of war, into the arms of those ferocious Rakshasas. No father will knowingly do that, will he? Like that he is asking. We got you with so much austerity, with so much difficulty. Now I want me to lose you? And this is still, Dasaratha was continuing along the line. And at this, then Rama then told him, Appa, why are you so weak? You speak of thrusting us in the tiger's mouth. Don't you forget that we are not goats to be offered, believe us to be the lion cubs. When he spoke like that, my God, his whole atmosphere became charged with strength and courage. And he said, send us on the sacred task with your blessings, Appa. You should not delay this act. When the sharp remark from Rama came like this, that we are lion cubs and we are not goats to be offered in a tiger's mouth, my God, even Vasishhta rose. He said, excellent, excellent, excellent. Dasaratha, did you hear the lion's roar right now? Why? Why are you worried about the jackals, howling there, the Rakshasas? Come on, send the message to the mothers and bring them right here. Place your sons in the hands of Viswamitra right now. And then Dasaratha knew he could not do anything else. He asked the queens to come. The queens came in, and then Dasaratha explained to them, Vasishhta explained to them first, and then he said, Amma, our Lakshmana and Rama and Lakshmana are ready to leave with Viswamitra in order to guard the yajna there, to fight against the Rakshasas. When the Kausalya heard this, she said, what? These little boys are going to protect the yajna which the great sage is performing? But I've heard the mantras themselves can do the protection. Why do you need protection from anybody else? and the mantras have divine potency, and Viswamitra is the greatest. I mean, his mantra that he utters will be so powerful. So why can what can a mere man do that? Why can't the mantras protect them? And then Vasishhta thought, oh my God, this is the correct point. And but he wanted to explain the situation a bit more. He said, no, Amma, the yajna that Viswamitra has undertaken is not ordinary rite. It's not an ordinary yajna. Many obstacles are there affecting it. That is why it's creating anxiety. And so he explained in much more detail. And then Kausalya did not give up. She said, it's creating anxiety? This is crazy. If you're performing yajna with complete devotion to God, why would you be anxious? Bhagavan will take care. The mantras will take care. She's absolutely to the point. And then Vasishhta had to tell her that Viswamitra performing the yajna could not use his own powers to protect the yajna. And plus, he did not go into elaborate details of how this is a step in the revelation of the divinity, the avataram that has come in. Plus, there are other things planned which he did not reveal to them, right? And then finally, they agreed, and then Dasaratha fell at the feet of Vasishhta and said, fine, we will go. And then Vasishhta looked at him, fine, Dasaratha, now you have proved yourself worthy, and hand them over to Viswamitra. And without further thought, Vasishhta called the boys, placing his auspicious palms on their heads, he blessed them, recited some Vedic mantrams, hymns, and blessed them. Boys fell at the feet of their mothers and received their blessings, and they stood ready to depart. And then Dasaratha saw the glow of joy and courage on their faces. And then he was not fully satisfied. He suppressed the sadness that he had, but he placed his hands on the shoulder of the boys and came near Viswamitra. He fell at his feet and said, these two, O Master, are from this day your sons. Their health and happiness are dependent on you. If you order that a few personal gods may be sent with them, I will gladly comply. Viswamitra dismissed it. He says, no, he just laughed and dismissed it. He said, but I will bring them with me to you when the task for which I am taking them with me is completed. Do not worry. Rule over the kingdom without injustice or interruption and be peaceful. Then Viswamitra rose from his seat, ready to depart. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om.